Welcome back to another episode, family. Afro Senpai here. Today we are talking about the CARES Act, which is our relief fund based off of this COVID-19 virus. We're getting into the stimulus checks. We're getting into how to help your small business, how to potentially grow a small business if you've been thinking about that, as well as student loan debt relief. And it begins now. Let's go. All right, folks, let's dive into it. First, we're going to be getting into the stimulus check because it applies to a large majority of us. Here's a nice little graphic of the breakdown of the money that people will be getting. So if you are single, 75,000 or less, you're going to get 1,200 back. Now, this graphic doesn't show that if you make, let's say, 76,000, you're still going to get money back. So anything over 75,000, it's $5 off the 1,200 that you're getting. Let's say you make this much money, then you think, oh man, I don't get any money back. So what's going to happen for every 100 extra dollars you make over the 75,000, you're going to get $5 less on your stimulus check. So if you got $75,100, your stimulus check is going to look like $11.95. Married couples filing jointly is basically doubling what you get if you're single, and you get $500 per dependent child, and that is for 17 or younger. I don't know why they cut it off at 17. Somebody on Instagram was talking about there are some kids who are 18, 19, 20 still kind of being in that dependent life because they just happen to go to college and they're not on their own yet, and that could be a lifesaver, an extra $500 for families having to take them in, because as you know, a lot of students, well, all students were kicked out of college dorms and said, go back home. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And so I don't know why they did that when they're giving out so much money. It's based off of your adjusted gross income, your AGI, for those of you who do your taxes. If you filed your 2019 taxes, if you have not filed your 2019 taxes yet because you got that extended period of time to file them, they will look at your adjusted gross income for your 2018 taxes. And if you haven't filed those, well, what are you doing? You got to file them. And oh, one other thing actually. If you've been direct depositing your taxes, so like I go through H&R Block, and at the end they ask you, do you want your refund back in the form of a gift card, a check, or direct deposit? And I always direct deposit because I don't want to deal with having to get a paper check, go to the bank, yada yada yada. It's just deposited, it's all good. How you receive your refund is how they will hand your refund to you. So our stimulus check will come in the form of a direct deposit into our bank account, whereas if you did a check reimbursement for your refund, then they will be sending you an actual check. Now we're moving on to small businesses. So if your business has suffered in any way, you're going to go to sba.gov, boom boom, right here. You're going to click here at the top. You think you can just come into your room while I'm recording? I'm just joking. Nene, can you close the door?
Dad, come look for a sec.
Okay. Come look for a sec?
Yeah.
Hold on, please.
2 hours later.
She wanted to show me that the cat's barfed. Okay. So, we're on sba.gov. We click the top, and it says, do you need some loan resources and guidance? Coronavirus funding options. Click here to learn more about available SBA loan and debt relief options. And then we're going to go to the loan advance. And then we're going to do eligibility. And then at the bottom of eligibility, it says to apply for the click here. Now what you're going to do is put in all of your information. So it says the entire application will take 2 hours and 10 minutes, and it's more like 10 minutes. If you just focus on what you're doing, you have all the information you need. So you're going to need your business EIN number, and then social security number, and then basically information about your business. And then you're going to be able to go through in about 10 minutes. And then it's going to ask you, would you like an advance on the 10,000? Because you can get more than 10,000, but from what I read, the 10,000 is forgivable as long as you're following all of their guidelines. And then they're going to ask you, give us a account that we can deposit this money into, and bing, bang, bang, you're good to go. Now, this is first come, first serve. So if you haven't acted on this yet, you need to get your buns in gear, because a lot of people are trying to get money for their business. Like, I'm going to keep this up actually, because I'm going to put all of these links in the description. All right, so the next thing we're looking at is wsbdc.org. Now this is specific to Washington, but I believe every state has one of these. This is the Small Business Development Center, and these guys will kickstart you on things that you basically want to know and need to know to start a business. The COVID Relief Fund has given money to these companies all throughout the state, if I'm not mistaken, and this is going to be like the first step in learning how to grow a business if that's what you've been interested in. This provision allows employers to pay up to $5,250 of an employee's student loan debt on a tax-free basis. So what I did is I copy and pasted this website to the people at my school, the HR department, to see if there's some way that we could benefit, because I wasn't really understanding what they were talking about within this website. So if you understand what's going on, please type in the comments and kind of break it down for me. And they got back to me saying that this is something that the teachers wouldn't benefit from. And so I lost interest in it. But if it applies to you, you know, help everybody else out. Comment below how people could benefit from this particular assistance. Last thing we're talking about is student loans. So one of the big things they're doing in the CARES Act is saying for a couple months, from March through September, you're having 0% on your federal student loans. This will show you what loans apply. So if you don't have a student loan through like the federal government, and you just got one through like Sally Mae or something like that, then it won't apply to you. But down here they're talking about, well, how can I tell if my student loan is temporarily going to be 0? Call your loan service provider. They'll help you out with that. I want to show you the significance of 0% interest. Okay, so we're at my student loan website, and so here's a breakdown of what I'm paying in principal and what I'm paying in interest for my student loan. Now it looks like I have no interest to pay, but each month interest rate gets applied to the principal, and I end up paying about $150, let's say, just for numbers, each month. I end up paying $150 each month in interest. Now I pay $280 each month, so minus the $150, and I'm only paying $130 back towards my principal. What the beauty of 0% interest is for the next couple months is when I pay $280, a whole $280 gets taken off of the principal, as opposed to just $130. So these next couple months are going to be nice because I'm actually paying more off of the principal instead of having to pay half principal, half to interest. So I am not going to stop paying my student loans back in the 0% interest area. And if you can afford it, I would Well, I'm not even going to recommend it because I'm not your financial advisor or anything. So I'm just going to talk about what I'm doing. Okay? So, in order to pay off more of the principal, I'm going to keep paying my student loans at the same rate that I've been paying. All right, so a lot of information we went over. Hope you got a little bit of something from it. There's a little bit of something for everybody, whether you're starting a business, whether you are already in your business, whether you are a student who's having some student loan debt, or just the average Joe waiting for their stimulus package. I hope there was something in there for you to digest and consider. Always go out and do your own homework, get your own information, make sure your facts are straight. And with that, we are going to call it an episode. I hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are safe. Remember, drink water, drink orange juice, eat oranges, love your family, and be well, be safe. Have a good one, and remember to smile because you are beautiful.